Good morning, everybody. Excuse me. Good morning. We got Queenie and Vague and Nerdy. Sir Higgs a lot. Herbie and Billy D. Billy, you always get up early. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Let's wait for a few people to join. Good morning to Alan, Liddy Ladrand. Good morning. You guys better say good morning to Ladrand. We missed him. We have to admit it. No pressure or anything, bro. But, like, how come everybody kept writing to me, where's Ladrand? I said, well, you give the guy a break. He's probably in Hawaii. He's surfing. Good morning, Divine Lady. Good morning, Mom. Suey. And Great. And Anthony Hunt. That's right, Anthony. Anthony Hunt hit those likes. Good morning, everybody. Douglas Edward. Good morning, Edward. Good morning. Say good morning to each other out there. I want to see a few more good morning each other. I want to show you guys a funny video to start the morning. You ready? Give me 5 people that say, Pops, show us a funny video to start the morning. And also, Pops, will push our like button too. We promise. We're at only 60% like coverage right now. We can do better. So, Edward said hit it. Pop, show us the funny video. Excuse me. Crispy voice this morning. You guys ready for a funny video? Good morning, Sundance Kid. You know what? What an appropriate name for the morning. Sundance Kid. Vegas wants to see the video. The rest of you could care less. I'm going to show it to you. Watch this, watch this, watch this. Oh, gee. Very appropriate with the Women's World Cup going on. I'm obsessed with the World Cup. Okay, we're going to start over because you guys weren't paying attention. Start over. Now, are you guys paying attention? Good morning. The music's to die for. Hags. This could have been our soccer team right here. You and me, Hags. Let's just switch positions. Okay. Thanks, Hags. Hits me again. That's you and me, Hags. I think you're kicking, and I'm blocking. Listen to the music. And that's Coach Carlos. Oh, my God. Boom! All right, one more time. It only lasts 30 seconds. Check it. You cannot avoid you just can't avoid your destiny. Okay? Higgs. That's Coach Carmine Rossi up there with us. This is how Coach taught us. Oh, no. No, okay, I got a plan. I'm going to just turn around. Look at Gardner's nuts, too. Like, Coach Carmine went on a Coach Carmine. Oh, God. All right. Okay. Stop. I laughed harder this time than the first time I watched it. Because I'm sharing it with friends. This is ridiculous. That music. How about that music? Carmine Rossi. That was our coach. You guys don't know it, but Higgs and I were on the same soccer team. Yep. Yep. Legs and I, we go way back. Let's do a giveaway before we get started. Okay? Oh my goodness, I crack up at that one. Giveaway or let me do a giveaway. I'm gonna do a giveaway. This is gonna be a good one. All right, you guys ready? This is gonna be, oh, I got a better one. This isn't a giveaway yet. Free's hilarious. Free the ancient one. Free, stop being funny this week. Free has been a funny dude this week. He sent me another joke yesterday. This one I'm just gonna say out loud. This one, I must have told 8 people this joke yesterday after I heard it from Free. You guys ready? You know how we've been doing like Pops Ickles jokes, which are really dad jokes, which are really, I still think moms should get credit for more jokes than they do, right? What happened to mom jokes? Why don't we get mom jokes? I think we had this discussion once before, dad jokes. Anyways, how do you know when it's a dad joke? How do you know when it's a dad joke? It's apparent. Hello, you should be laughing. When it's cheesy, when it's apparent, that's when you know. That's a really good one. How do you know when it's a dad joke? Some of you think that's pretty damn good. Douglas is going, I just got it. It's apparent, okay? Funny. That's funny. Good job, Free. So you guys can use that one. Use that. Nerdy's like, wait a minute, that did take me a minute, Pops. It did. It just hit me. Boom. Okay. You guys have Free's permission to use that one. Let's do it one more, but this one's for a contest. The first person on my screen to answer this correctly that hasn't won something or doesn't have a piece of the pie already this week, for new people, that means you have a spot on the board spinning for tomorrow's big prizes. We're gonna have a nice day tomorrow, okay? First person I feel like giving the answer, giving this to, basically. Here's the dad joke. Now it's gonna be apparent. It's gonna be very apparent that this is a dad joke I'm about to tell. All right? Wait a minute. Let's look at that for one more moment. It could be a mom joke. It could be a mom joke, because that would be apparent as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. It could be a mom joke. That would be apparent. Now I'm confused, Free. Which is it? Okay. It's like, that's true, Pops. Let's smoke another one and talk about it. Here we go. Let's do this question. I'm a crazy kid this morning. Why, for the third time, why didn't the artist charge for drawings? Why didn't the artist charge for drawings? Go. Yeah, that's a bummer, Sandy. Why didn't he? Mike Baraball just hit it correctly. Mike Baraball. Mikey the Baraball man. Because he did it freehand. Mushy, that was pretty good though. Mushy said because he was afraid he'd get framed. That's why didn't he participate in a homicide conspiracy? But in this case, Mike Baraball got it correct. Congratulations, Mike. Mike, do you want a slice on the board? Do you want a slice of pie for tomorrow's spin to win? Or do you want door number 1 or door number 2? Which would you like? Mike Burrable. Mike hasn't won anything in a while because he did it freehand. Mike. I thought it was sketchy. That was pretty good, Mark. Mike's going to take a door. No, it's up to Mike. Which do you want? You want a slice of pie? Mike's going for door number 1. Okay, door number 1. Door number 1 was that right there, Mike. That was the first of many things. Oops. But that's door number 1 right there. So Mike, borrow ball. And what is that? Well, it weighs out to, let's see, real quick. Now, of course, it's got the plastic on it. But let's say the plastic's not on it. It's probably, what, half a gram's worth of plastic there? Okay. So, Mike, that's what we're sending you out. Okay. Out to Mike Barabal will be 1 2.5 gram package of Ghosts to Go. Okay. Congratulations, Mike. Send me your address at the DetroitMushLab.net and we'll get that sent out to you. Okay? I got freaked out a couple of days ago. Who wants to hear my quick freak out story before I get into the program of today? Our computers, the computers around the house, laptop sitting here, computer over there, a phone over here. I have 3 phones that I use for different things. And then I have my laptop and I have another computer. Way too much stuff. They're often open and slumbering or something like that. Right? They're in a slumber mode or something. I don't understand it very well at all. But I do know this, and I think most of us here know this. It's a scary time, especially with all this AI that's coming. And pretty soon I won't even be here. It won't be me, but it'll be an AI of me. I'll be fishing somewhere, and you guys are going to go, oh, that's Pops, what a great show. And I'm like, what did I say? What did I do at the show? That'll be happening one of these days. Our computers are listening to us. For a long time, I thought it was just, if I search for something, a few minutes later, they start sending me all kinds of stuff that I had just been searching for. You know what I'm talking about, right, Kim? Say I'm searching for a particular fishing lure. Next thing you know, I get a lot of 8 ads on fishing lures. So the computers are getting really smart. They know exactly what I'm looking for when I search stuff. And it's helpful, but in a way, I only wanted to look once. I didn't want to look 100 times. Okay? Just because I looked at something one time doesn't mean that's all I want you to send me. But they do that. Well, now guess what they're doing? Now, you guys already know this, but Pops is new to this. They listen. Siri's in the background listening. Audio. This isn't just about what we type in anymore. This is about what we speaky-weaky out. The computers are in the background listening to us. I know this for a fact. The scariest thing I've ever seen happen in my whole life, and I still don't know what to do about it. I have to turn myself in, I think. Did you know that? The only reason I haven't turned myself in yet is because I'm afraid they'll find the lab. But I'm this close to turning myself in. Let me tell you the story. A couple of nights ago, I'm sitting here talking with Brock. And we're joking back and forth. And I said something in my words. Hags, in my words, I'm talking. There's a mashup of words, Sandy, I gotta come and hide out with you guys. I'm not kidding you. They're gonna come find me. I'm talking with Brock, and it was something on TV, and I was like, I said something like, they were talking about a mother that was pregnant, that was gonna have a baby, and she was sexy, something like that. And I remember vaguely, I remember my words. My words, something like this, I said out loud. Oh, baby was just born. All of a sudden you hear Siri come on, flashing lights on Siri. You cannot search baby porn. Now I'm on the list for searching baby porn. I'm scared to death. What am I going to do? You cannot search for baby porn. Out of nowhere, I'm just sitting there in the house with Brock, and all of a sudden we hear Siri's voice coming into the house like, boop! And you look over and it's the computer screen screaming at me. Are you kidding me? What did I... Eggs, can I come to Maryland? You guys, watch out what you say near your computer. I'm not even joking you. My butthole got this big. It went, oh, I was like, oh my God. You cannot search for baby porn. No. I said baby born. I was looking for, now it starts sending me pictures of babies in fetal positions. I'm like, okay, thank God. Born, baby born. Next thing you know, I'm getting baby fetal positions. I'm like, thank God, I think I got it straight. Oh God, now I'm still getting pictures of baby with fetal positions, but that's okay. It's a true story. Be very careful. Now, when they send me pictures of babies in fetal positions, oh my goodness. Please, my friends, be careful out there. I'm literally up in the eggs, sitting there at night, and I'm waiting for it. Sir, this is the porn police. We'd like to we're confiscating your computer. Sir, porn police, porn, like, that's it. Sandy, help! Okay, stop saying it's going on my device. You're right. I'm messing up all of your devices there, okay? Oh, true story. I wrote it down. I said, I've got to tell these guys, be careful what you say. Child born and child porn. Poof. A lot of trouble there. Okay? Anthony, be careful out there. Turn your series off. Don't get serious. All right, Alan, our friend Alan here. Do you guys remember maybe a couple of weeks ago, young Alan? I call him young because he's younger than me. His mother passed away, and then a little bit later date, while Alan was here, Alan had won something or something. So I think somebody here had decided, let's send Alan something. Let's pop him a box. See if it helps. Alan sent us a letter yesterday. I thought it would be appropriate to read this. Is the music too loud? I am going to bribe you. I'll read Alan's letter if 6 more people push their like button. That's not asking that many. 6 more. If not, we'll just move on to the next dad joke. It's up to you guys. 6 people will make the decision here for us. We'd like to hear Alan's letter, or Pops, forget Alan's letter. Just go straight to the next, give us more stuff. Which one do you guys want? I'm still looking for 4 more. I asked for 6 and only 2 have jumped on. 66 people here, 50 likes. Can we do that? Can I get to 54? Oh boy, 51. I hate begging for likes. 52. I don't do it for myself because it would be embarrassing. 53. I do it because other people will get the algorithm and blah, blah, blah. You guys heard it 100 times. 53. Are we going to get a 54? Thank you, Alan. They do want to hear you. Alan. Here we go. Alan wrote, thanks so much. Thank you so much for tea time. The time you spend with us is an incredible donation to all our mental health. Alan, you don't even know. Because it's my mental health too, right? Right? And Brock gets butthurt if he can't do the Monday shows now. Pop, you don't understand. It gives me something to look forward to. I've got friends. I have connections. I have a network. It's mental health for all of us. Please believe. He says, I absolutely love you all. See, this is one of those deals where he's actually writing it to everybody. He says, I absolutely love you all. And with my mom passing on July 20th, I was lost. But having tea time kept my mind working with a little normalcy. It's that regularity. It's knowing that you turn on at 9 and the crew will be here to the best of our ability. Come rain or come shine. Who says, I was devastated by my mom's death, and I still am. But I know I get to see you all every morning. I've been accepted by the crew now, and I love it so much. Thank you, Pops. Much love, Alan. How do you do it, Alan? Much love to you too, my friend. I get it. I get it. You can go a little bit nutty-kabuddy when you don't have somewhere to be and something to do. And you know what? When you got to, hey, at least I can show up at 9 o'clock in the morning, or 6 for some of you, and 7 and 8. Hey, and I'll see my friends. It's a powerful thing. Therein lies the magic. Therein lies the magic and the therapy. Didn't he start out by saying, we're all donating to each other's mental health? When Higgs and I have our little jokes back and forth, and whoever, the stuff I spew out, that's helping my mental health. Imagine how goofy I would be if I wasn't here getting to pick on everybody every day. I get an audience. I'd have to wait till Sundays to go hit the old ladies at the old folks' home. I don't want to have to wait a week to pick on someone. This is great. I do it every day. You know what I'm going to do this week with them? It's a true story. I'm going to read them some rando factos. I'm out of ideas over there. Okay, I'm gonna take a sheet of rando factos, but I think they need to be age appropriate. What do you guys think? Bring age appropriate rando factos over to the retirement home? Oh, Badge, Brock he wouldn't even want to stay here anymore. Daniels, bring some shrooms over. How about a special blend of tea, dears? I'd like you all to try pop tea. Oh, God. Sir, we don't want you coming back here anymore. Does anybody, can you imagine? Okay, so be super creative. Be super creative. Let her rip, Pops. You know what? The old people do laugh harder at this stuff because they get the whole context. Younger people are just a tight eggs. Younger people are slightly more hung up, a little tighter around the undies. Their tiny whiteys are just a little bit tighter. They're like, oh, did you just insult me? Just no, you're a homo. We're all homos. What? Like, so you're right. I'm gonna go there and call one of the old guys a homo and see what they do. Oh, that's a good one. I wish the doctor would say that. Okay. Good morning, everybody. How about this one? Younger people are different, Anthony. They're like, they get a little uptight. I'm going to cancel this culture right away. You don't understand. I deserve this. You do? I finished 4th on the soccer team. I should get a trophy too. You used to get like maybe a certificate and like a orange wedge. That's about all we gave them. You'd have to win to get something. Nowadays, how many trophies? And they're all the same size. How do you know which one's the winning trophy? They're all the same size. Well, I think I won. I'll stop now. I'm sounding like an old fogey. I walked 3 miles uphill both ways to and from school. Yeah, I picked the hill, the other one that went up too. Okay. I want to do this rando facto. This one blew my mind. Okay. This one blew my mind. We have these guys around here, this wild animal that we're going to talk about. Get off my lawn! No, I did that, Hagues. This is the truth. I keep talking to Hagues this morning. I did that, well, it was quite a while ago. But I was being less than impeccable, I admit it. And you know how you can get into your dumb little email wars back and forth, right? And Pops tells you don't do it, but once in a while, he did it. I haven't done that in a long time. But I remember one. So here this guy is, he's attacking me, he's insulting me, he's this, and I'm taking it, and I'm trying to be, I'm afraid anything I write is going to get screenshotted and posted somewhere. So I have to watch what I say. I always pretty close to watch what I say because I have screenshot phobia. Right? I know they're going to post a picture of what I just said. Be careful, I have screenshot phobia. So, anyways, I finally got tired of this guy. I texted him and I said, get off my porch. Whoo, that was Pops really getting angry. That's it, man. Get off my porch. And then I had to stop replying. Best thing to do at that point, don't ever reply again. We have these animals around here. I don't like them. You're supposed to kind of like them. I think they're not bad for the environment. But can you imagine being this creative? You're a lock guy. You're trying to come up with a lock. Some kind of a locking mechanism that's going to, let's say, keep your bicycle safe. Something like that, right? So maybe it's like a chain kind of a situation, cable, something. But most of those that they make, you can still come along and can still cut them with bolt cutters. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've stolen about 800 bikes in my past. I always used a bolt cutter. Okay, I really didn't. But I think I could have used a bolt cutter. What are you going to use? What are you going to do? We got to be creative. And we have to come up with the perfect lock. Well, Daniel Idzikowski came up with one. Just the name alone, you know he's going to be a brilliant guy. Idzikowski. Daniel Idzikowski. He had a friend, a Swiss-born engineer, named Yves Perronneau. Great name. So these two, Idzikowski and Perronneau, they come up with their own bike lock. Badger's out there telling us how to do it with grinders and stuff. Badge, I need you to help me get into a safe. You and I should do a safe down at the corner. Okay? I'll get you in. You just open the safe. This bike lock was, they started a company called, wait for it, the Skunk Lock. The Skunk Lock. When it's cut by a potential thief, the lock emits a noxious chemical that immediately induces vomiting and makes it hard to see or breathe. Steal that bike, pal. Steal that bike. Huh? You can bring any lock cutter you want to the game. Woof, there you go. A skunk lock is no challenge for a badger. Can you imagine that? Idzikowski and Perronneau decided, and we're going to smoke them out. We're going to skunk them up and smoke them out, and they're going to throw up all over my bike. And it's going to be hard to see or breathe. Badgie's like, I've had 100 pet skunks. It's a true story. The Skunk Lock. It's a bike lock. Look it up. That cracked me up when I read that. I'm like, that is brilliant. Badgie and I need to come up with something just like that. Just like that. All right, I'm going to do one more. Because we have work to do. We're going to still talk about mycology today. Okay? Who's ever heard? I hadn't heard of this before. Microlattice. Not lettuce, lattice. Like crisscross, mesh. Microlattice. Sounds interesting. Microlattice is a new type of metal created by Boeing that is 99.99% air. 99.99% air. Alan, you could be right. It is so light that it can actually sit on top of a dandelion without crushing it. What are we going to do with that? That's alien spaceships are made of that. They found that's what they do. They were doing some reverse technology on some of those crash landings they found. Look at that, Higgs. Air metal and clear wood. Clear wood yesterday, air metal today. It's not air mail, it's air metal. How about this one? I personally think that we underuse the idea of living under the water. With the world going the way it is, I think we should have biodomes under the water. We should have people living in underwater farms and stuff. I truly believe that. Like science fiction, why are we going to Mars? We should go to the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. We can live, have all kinds of operations going on down there. Check this out. Aquaman crystals. Aquaman crystals. They are a type of crystal created by scientists at the University of South Denmark. They can absorb a room full of oxygen and store it for later use. I'm going to bring in a handful of crystals, sucks all the oxygen out of the room. Boop, they're inside my Aquaman crystals now. All that oxygen's inside these crystals. This invention could actually be the key to underwater breathing. A handful of crystals could pull oxygen from the water and then provide divers with air. Billy D quit doing crystal? I would do aqua crystals. I'm going to do one more for you. This is a weirdo. We all know that, well, we all don't know. Henry Ford wasn't a very nice man. He also wasn't the smartest guy in the room. He's great engineers, had a lot of stick-to-itiveness in him, but he wasn't the smartest guy in the room. Edison, on the other hand, brilliant guy. When it came to making the, where is it? When it came to making the light bulb, he literally, in his laboratory, he made 1,000 different types before he finally came up with one that worked. 1,000 different types. And he finally came up with one that worked. He was one of those guys that, is it in here somewhere? Here it is. When creating the light bulb, Thomas Edison had 1,000 unsuccessful attempts. When a reporter asked him, how does it feel to fail 1,000 times? Edison replied, the light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps. Not 1,000 failures, 1,000 steps is what it took me. That's the attitude we're supposed to have as mycologists. So, Edison and Ford were contemporaries. They knew each other. They corresponded with one another, and they eventually met in person. One of Edison's big things was he wanted to know if there was a spiritual afterlife. Ford, too. This was in the days and times of Harry Houdini, right? There were a lot of spiritualists and people making money selling bogus spiritual stuff. And then there were other people going around trying to uncover the bogus. Check this out. This is a story I never heard of before. When Thomas Edison developed health issues that forced him to use a wheelchair, businessman Henry Ford, who was a close friend of his, bought a wheelchair himself so that the two of them could race around his estate. I'm gonna get one and we're gonna race each other, pal. Okay, that's pretty cool. I can picture me and Sandy doing that. Sandy, Pops is in a wheelchair and Sandy, I'm gonna get a wheelchair and I'll race you, Pops. Thank you. As Edison lay dying, his son Charles captured his last breath in a glass test tube. Dad, you're dying? Hold on, I got a test tube. Your last breath, hold on. He's holding a test tube. The son Charles is holding a test tube to Pops' lips, waiting for the last... Stop it! Put a stopper on the test tube. Boop. As Edison lay dying, his son Charles captured his last breath in a glass test tube, which he then sealed with paraffin wax. Charles gave the test tube to Ford because he knew how much they meant to each other. The test tube is on display in Detroit, Michigan at the Henry Ford Museum. I gotta go check out that test tube. Weirdo. Can you imagine that? Sandy, catch my last breath, my last dying breath, and send it. Send it. I'll tell you who I want you to send it to. Wait a minute. I want you to, hold on, Sandy. Send it to, send it to Kim. I feel like she'd show it to her physics class. Badgie, I gotta get over there to that museum. Okay? Ooh, that's just creepy. It is creepy. Who does that? I'm saving my last breath for you, baby. Okay? Who does that? And you guys having a good time here this morning? I sure am. Okay, I was gonna send it to Hags, but Hags has been getting too much attention lately. Okay. MVP wants it to be a dab hit. MVP wants to shoot a dab hit in. You know what? Brock should get, you guys send Brock your last dab hit. Okay? Who had to start talking about farts? Stop it. We're grown-ups. You only talk about farts when I talk about them. Sandy's like, why do I have to be the one to get it? Because, Sandy, I can trust you with it. Why do I have to be Pops? Don't worry, we're sending it to Kim. We're sending it to Kim, so we're gonna be okay. Okay, maybe it's CCS. We should send it by CCS to do a quick testing. Okay? Why do I have to pee? That is so funny. Why am I Mr. Pink? Remember Reservoir Dogs? One of my best movies of all time. I saw it before it was even popular. I was like, this movie is so good. And then, oh yeah, everybody starts watching it. Best scene in the movie is when he's naming the guys. He's giving each of them their color, Mr. Color names in the diner. He gives Steve Buscemi the name. You're gonna be Mr. Pink. Pink? Why do I have to be Mr. Pink? You know when you're in a group of gangsters, when you're in a group of gangsters, who wants to be Mr. Pink? You're not calling me Mr. Pink, I'm quitting the group. Okay, that's it. I gotta be Mr. Brown or I'll go Mustard if I have to. Give me Mr. Mustard, but I'm not being Pink. Steve Buscemi is one of my favorite actors of all time. Nerdy, I love that guy. Okay, I haven't talked about mycology at all this morning. Why do I have to be the Pink? Let's talk about mycology for a moment. No, let's do one quick giveaway. Let's do a quick giveaway. We got to get somebody a giveaway. Excuse me, this is going to be a good one. This one was actually sent to me this morning. Was it this morning? It was on IG. It was on my IG. So this one's public. The answer's already out there. But I thought it was hilarious. I thought this one was it's hilarious in a very sad way. Okay? First person to answer that hasn't won other stuff this week or have their name on the board. What do you call a cow with no legs? A cow that doesn't have legs. What do you call that? Okay. What do you call that? Paige. Now, Mike Barball said it right before you, but I'm going to give it to Paige because I just sent something to Mike Barball. The answer is ground beef. Ground beef, you all know it. Really? I had to think about it. I'm like, what is that? Oh, that's a good one. Ground beef. Paige. Paige. Do you want a slice on the board for a spin to win for tomorrow, or do you want door number 2 or door number 3? Which do you want? You go slice or door number 2 or door number 3? Which one do you want, Paige? Paige. You can have a slice on the board for the big wins tomorrow, or you can have door number 2 or door number 3. Which do you want, Paige? Paige is going door number 3. Here we go. We had door number 1. We've already given that away to Mike Barabal, who just got the answer right again, but we skipped over him. That was door number 2. You didn't go for door number 2. And then door number 3. That is the one that you went for. I wonder how much that weighs. Let's put that on the old scale. Door number 3. If you took about a half a gram off for the plastic, we're probably looking at about 4 grams right there. For Paige from door number 3. Okay, I'm making myself a note here. Mike got door number 1. And Paige got door number 3. And none of you want to play tomorrow. Nobody wants to play tomorrow. That's okay. If we don't fill up the wheel today, then we'll just play with a few less people tomorrow. Right? No, that's not a big deal. That'll be fun. Let's give us about 15 minutes. We're going to talk about mycology, believe it or not. Okay? But I really do like us having fun here too. You know, I really do. I like us joking around and goofing off, and you know, that's a great way for us to, mental health, as Alan mentioned, for us to start our days off. We left off yesterday with having our jars pressure cooked with the grain that we chose. We talked about how to prep whole oats, and we also said exact same procedure for rye berries, but instead of simmering them for 30 minutes, you'll simmer them for 15. That's the only big difference. Popcorn. How do I prepare my popcorn? Here, I'll soak my popcorn for 12 hours. I'm not looking to start endospores. That's not the soak reason. I'm just trying to get that kernel in the very center of the grain, an opportunity to be a lot softer. Then here's what you'll do with popcorn. Popcorn's a pretty easy one to work with. I'll get my pan of water boiling with popcorn, for the popcorn. So I've got boiling water. I never turn on my popcorn grain, I never turn it down to simmer. I'll always keep my water boiling. As soon as I pour my amount of popcorn in, obviously that changes the water temperature, so it stops boiling, but it's still boiling. And then eventually it starts to boil again because it's gotten the heat of the kernels in there too. When do you know to stop boiling and remove your popcorn from the boiling water and put them into a strainer and cold shock them so they'll stop continuing to hydrate? Here's what we do. You'll just grab a little spoon, reach in there and take a spoonful of 2 or 3 kernels out. They're gonna be hot, wait for just a second for them to cool down. Take it and pinch it very hard between your thumb and forefinger. Pinch that kernel. And once that kernel just starts to mush, it just begins to get a little mushy in between your finger and forefinger and thumb, stop. It's going to be very easy from that point to overcook and turn your corn into mush. So we want to, so every 5 or 8 minutes or so, pull out a corn, check it for its compressibility. We call it pinch the corn. We just take one little piece of corn, we pinch it, go, it's perfect. Pull my pan off, put it through the strainer, and or I'll pull my bag out. Like we mentioned yesterday, I'll already have a brew bag with all of it in there. But I'll know then. So I don't time popcorn like I do the whole oats or the rye berry. Popcorn is a fly by the seat of your pants, but it's super easy to check for when it's ready to be put into your cold water, dry off a little bit, then put it on your mesh. Check for the dryability on it, just like anything else. When we did the one tissue test, one ply tissue with a couple of pieces of kernels of corn on there, if they leave a watermark, you have a little more drying to do. If they don't leave a watermark, jar or bag them up and let's go. Okay? So now we're sitting there. Which do you, I recommend, personally, oats work the best for us, and also the price. Oats, you know, we can buy them more. The whole oats, we get a better price on those overall. And really, just generally, have never had a problem. My personal favorite to grow with is rye berry. But rye berry's just a little trickier. However, we do have bags coming, like I mentioned to you, from Outgrow. We're going to play with those bags right here in front of you guys. It's important to know that when Outgrow sends his bags to you, he has them packaged a certain way. You're going to end up with these like baseballs. You don't want to use them the way he has them packaged. He's packaged them correctly and good for us. But there's a couple little hints I'm going to show you about how to prep that bag and get it ready to inoculate. Now, let's say we're ready to inoculate some of these jars that we had on their side that will roll every 12 to 24 hours. And we've probably let this grain cure for about 48 hours after it's been pressure cooked and therefore sterilized. Now you're going to take that jar. We're going to be working with jars mostly instead of bags. But we're going to take this jar. It's time to inoculate the jar. In mycology, we call that knock it up. We're going to inoculate it, knock it up. So that's kind of an interesting term, and we use it all the time. People, what do you mean by we're inoculating something? There are 3 ways that you can take a jar. We're going to visualize with me that it's half full of sterilized whole oats that we've already pressure cooked. Okay? So visualize this with me. We can get this jar, get the juice or the mycelium into this jar at this point 3 different ways. There are 3 ways. One is to use a syringe. And with your syringe, you're going to put it in the port. And we'll go through this process here in just a moment. So one way is to use a syringe that has either liquid culture or spores in them, depending on which one you ordered in your preparation phase. The second way is to use grain-to-grain transfer. In front of a flow hood or underneath a still air box, if you're working with that, you would have a jar of grain that's already colonized. It's all white. And I can take this and I can go start growing mushrooms with it, or I can take this jar of all white grain already colonized and I can start more jars. And the way I would do that, a jar this size right here, and if it was colonized up to 3/4 full of grain, all colonized, I see that in my mind as about, this is an 8-ounce jar, not the 16. I see that as about 3 hockey pucks, maybe 2. What do I mean by that? I would take this jar, I would open it up with the colonized, and remember this other jar I have over here, I only half filled with the grain because I knew I was going to grain to grain it. So I could take I could take that much, good hockey pucks amount, the good thickness of a hockey puck. And you can probably get 2 to 3 hockey pucks out of this jar. And I would take that much out of this jar and pour it into the other jar, all underneath, working with your flow hood or underneath a still air box. One of the simplest ways to do that, grab a kitchen spoon that's made from stainless steel or something like that, and just spray that. Make sure it's a very clean spoon, and spray it with your ISO spray. Let it, the ISO spray evaporate, and then just scoop it out with that spoon and put it into the other jar. So that's your second way. We could use a syringe. We could start this jar with grain to grain. Or the third way is if we have a plate of agar colonized, we could go in and take sections of that plate out and put them inside this jar, and that would start this as well. Time frames. Starting a jar from scratch, and I would expect this jar to be colonized in 21 to 25 days. Sometimes sooner, depending on how good the genetics are. But for planning purposes, 21 to 25 days. If I start the jar with agar, I'll plan on starting, that jar should be ready, completely colonized, in about 20 days, 18 to 20. If I start this jar with a puck, a nice puck of grain to grain transfer, this jar will be ready for our next step, 15 days. So there's a speed process that we like when we do grain to grain, okay? You sacrifice a jar, but you make 3 more faster. Here at the Detroit Grow House, I would say 90% of the work that we do, we start our jars, we fill them to 3/4 to begin with. We start our jars with up to half a plate of agar. And so now I'll have this jar. It's not this size. It's a 16 quart. I'll take that 16 quart jar when it's fully colonized, and I'll start 4 more jars from it. So if I have a tray of 12 jars that are colonized, and I know those 12 are dedicated, grain to grain, they're going to go start some more jars for me. So if I have a tray, which is 12 total jars in a tray, if I have 1 tray of colonized spawn, I can make 4 trays of prepared grain and get it going. And I'll have those 4 trays, that's 48, from 12 in 15 to 18 days, ready to move into the tubs. What do you think about that? And in the meantime, we've got other jars over here that the agar is in, and they're turning these jars into fully colonized. Okay? So those are the 3 ways that we can inoculate a jar. Tomorrow morning, we will, as part of, we're going to have a play day here. We're going to play a lot tomorrow, but we'll show you how to inoculate a jar with syringes tomorrow, right here in front of everything, okay? And we're also going to briefly touch on, at this point, instead of using a jar of prepared, we've done all this work and we've prepared or we've ordered bags of sterilized grain. We can also, and most of us know this, and we'll talk about it briefly, we can also start with, we could cut to the chase, we could fast forward all the way to go to the grocery store, buy a bag of Uncle Ben's brown rice, bring it home, have one of these, and you're already at this stage. Boop. You could be at that stage in about an hour and a half. All you have to do is get a bag of Uncle Ben's wild brown rice. Order one of these, and you've already done all your grain prep, you've done all of your letting it uh, letting it cure, you've done everything. You're ready. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Okay? And I highly recommend it. If you've never done Uncle Ben's Tech before, even if you think, oh, I'm the greatest mycologist ever, I know I've got everything covered, you have to try it. You need to try it. You know, one of the biggest reasons why, because you're going to have to find out how easy it is. A bigger reason, if you're a mycologist like us, interested in promoting this healthy alternative, it's the easiest and fastest way to get somebody involved. They'll know after 1 or 2 bags of shot up Uncle Ben's, is this a hobby they're interested in or not? And you're going to ask them to spend about $15 to figure out, is this something they're interested in or not? They don't have to have a laboratory to figure it out. Okay? So you're doing everybody a huge favor. So let's close with our reading for today. And we'll discuss some Uncle Ben's, some twists, some little things. I have tons of experience of working with Uncle Ben's, and I highly recommend it. Okay, it's not foolproof, and you will end up with contamination too. But usually you'll find out you brought your own contamination to the game. We'll talk about it. Let's do a reading now. Yeah, B. Hendricks, we want to give people an entry level. We want to get them a place where it's so easy to start. Go to Kroger's. You don't even have to go to Kroger's. You can order it on Amazon. They'll send you the rice to you in the mail. You don't even have to leave your house. Boop, you got a bag of Uncle Ben's, and you got a syringe of LC, a squirt of ISO spray, and some tape, the appropriate tape, microfiber tape, and that's it. Plastic gloves if you're smart. Super duper easy. Let's do our reading for today, okay? And then I'm going to do one more giveaway. This won't be a giveaway. This will be get a name on the board, all right? All that we are not. Discernment. Don't you sometimes wish you had more discernment? Yes. You get older, you get a little more discerning, though. I'll be honest with you. You get older, you get to tell people, oh, well, you're older, you're wiser. You do. You get a little more discerning. Not nearly enough. Because most people think, oh, I need to be discerning because I'm worried about getting ripped off by people. The better I am, the more discerning I am, the safer I am. I would argue it's the exact opposite. The more discerning you are, the more open you've become. I can easily over-identify with my emotions and roles, becoming exactly what I feel. I'm angry. I am divorced. I am depressed. I am a failure. I am nothing but my confusion and my sadness. Oh, it's easy to over-identify with these emotions. No matter how we feel at one moment, we are not just those feelings. We aren't those roles or our trauma. We're not the prescriptions of values. We're not obligations. We're not ambitions. We're none of those, but we define ourselves with all of those. We define ourselves by our ambition often. And then you don't reach that definition of your ambition and I'm a failure. Imagine if Edison had said that on attempt number 990 on his light bulb. It's very human way to be consumed by what moves through us. Over-identified emotions. Listen to this. This is so beautiful. right here what this guy's going to do. When you're a sculptor, Michelangelo, he's going to use as our example. When you're a sculptor, you have to look at a stone. You don't get to add something to that stone. You're slowly chipping things away from that stone till it becomes the essence of what it was that you were hoping to make. This isn't clay sculpture where you can, oh, I broke the arm off, let me make another and mold it into it. No, this is stone sculpture. Can you imagine that now you're running, you're sculpting something and there's a fissure right down the middle of the marble that you didn't see till you chipped in and now you have to sculpt around the fissure and hope the nose doesn't fall off or the ear. But you're slowly, as a sculptor, bringing the form out of the rock. I don't have that artist ability because I can't look at a rock and see the innate, what I could get out of it. It's not how my brain works. I don't have that practice. I'm more of a creator and an idea man and then an effort guy. But I'm awestruck by that skill, by that level of brain. And you know what I found out from this right here? We all have that skill. It just means we're not working with stone all the time. I'm working with my emotions. We can be Michelangelo of our own emotions. Give me 5 people that are like, what? They're inside us, aren't they? They get drawn out. We are literally the Michelangelos of our own emotions. This is good. In contrast, I often think of how Michelangelo sculpted. How he saw the sculpture waiting, already complete in the uncut stone. He would often say that his job was to carve away the excess. Oh, God. Don't you love carving away the excess? No, it hurts. I know. Look at you now. Look at you now, you statue of David. Oh, it hurt when it was being carved. We were just carving away excess, pal. Doll. Man, this is good. You're like a work of art in progress. You're your own sculptor too. He would often say that his job was to carve away the excess, freeing the thing of beauty just waiting to be released. It helps me to think of spiritual discernment this way. Facing ourselves, uncovering the meaning of our heart experiences. The entire work of consciousness speaks to a process by which we sculpt away excess. All that we are not. Finding and releasing the gesture of soul that is already waiting. Complete and within us. Self-actualization is this process applied to our life on earth. The many ways we suffer, both inwardly and outwardly, are your chisels, freeing the things of beauty that you have carried within since birth. Give me 5, 10 people. I got it. I get it. I am my own sculptor. There's stuff that's been in here since birth, and we bury it, and we were told to bury a lot of it too. And then we cover it up with muck and mire and crap. And then we understand, oh, I understand why I feel this way. Every single one of us being a Michelangelo. Every one of us being... This, I'm not kissing ass. This show right here helps us chisel. Yep. Hags, this show right here, it helps us chisel. We're a bunch of chiselers. Not in a bad way. My dad used to call someone like a con artist, he's a chiseler. You know what? I like chiselers right now. I don't think there's anything wrong with any of you guys here being a chiseler. Okay? You know what kind of chiseler we're talking about. Let's do a final giveaway. I'm going to get somebody on the board. And they're going to win what was behind door number 2. So you guys ready? This show helps me chisel. That's right. Bunch of chiselers. First person to answer this correctly. Where do birds find out what it's like outside? I'm a bird. I want to know what it's like outside. How do I find out? What's it like outside? How do they find out what it's like outside? By bird watching, by air, by being in the air? Isaac has it correct. Isaac Cavazos! Isaac! It's simple, you guys. They just watch the Feather Channel. Isaac? Isaac! Where do birds find out what it's like outside? Simple. They go to the Feather Channel. Isaac Cavazos, let's get you going, bro. This is a good one for Isaac. I haven't seen Isaac win anything in a minute. Here we go, Isaac. Cavazos. And Isaac, we're going to be sending you this. That is 2 grams there. I weighed that one out. And, yeah, that's a 2 gram. And this is Mountain Mush Lab Lightwave. This comes from Sandman and the Detroit Mush Lab .net. So Isaac, I need your address so I can send that to you. And then you need to be here tomorrow to see if your name comes up when we spin. Okay, so you won 2 things today, Isaac. That's the way we want to kill the game today. Did we have a good time? I did. Working on our mental health, chiseling away at stuff? Heck yeah. Thanks for being here, you guys. It was a good day. Tomorrow we'll continue to talk about inoculating our jars, and then on to the next step with the time that we have, because we're going to be playing a lot of games tomorrow, I have a feeling. I have a feeling there's a lot of stuff should fly out of here tomorrow. Okay? So, and you have to be here to win. If your name's on the board, you have to be here to win. So, no hook or anything. Guys, go have a beautiful day. Thanks for being my friend. Start growing your mushrooms. We're learning how together. Have a good day, Isaac and Mushmouth and Cleany and Hags and MDK and Herbie Von Werby Kebab and Benny Ben. There you are, Benny. And Anthony Hunt and Alan. Thanks for that wonderful email, Alan, to the whole group. Healthy Green and Clean Grow and Eagle. And Billy D, getting after it. And Sid Hunter and Mike Baraball. And Nippy, thank you, doll. And Clean Grow. And Greeny Tables and B. Hendricks. And Vegas, there you are, my dear. And Nerdy and Liddy Landrand. And SSW, he's getting after it over there. Eagle and Rick Parker. Hi, Rick. And Jimmy Max and Hags. Snap. Hags, you were on my mind all morning. Love you, bro. Herbie and Sandy. Sandy, catch my last breath. Just, Sandy, catch my last breath. And send it to Hags. Alan and Jonathan K. and Anthony and Isaac, Benny, Ben, and Jolie Cantor. Maybe we should send it to Jolie. Get 2 breaths and send one of them to Jolie. Laura, have a divine day. Carrie, have a beautiful day. Mushmouth and Kimberly. Okay, looking forward to the spins. Don't spin around here. Badgie, smell flowers. Don't forget it. MDK and Daniel and Moms and D. Anderson and Car and Lexington Felix and Flying Wing and Saska Mojo and the Wanderer and B. Hendrick Anthony. Ooh, Anthony, good luck with that. Seriously. Nip and Ladran and Cleany and Nurs and Daniel and wishing you well. That's a cute one. Car and Kimberly and Silly Gal. Hi, Silly. Mike Baraball. Peace, love, Pops, be kind to each other and yourself.